Okay, I'm already partway into this recovery procedure. This is a cold day. It's only 47 degrees outside right now. And you can see ice forming on the suction line. See up there? You see it's thawing out here. It's all ice, but you see ice right there? I'm already into negative, but there's still a lot of refrigerant trapped. If you could see down there, there's ice. And I think the level starts right about here. This is where the ice is. That's all refrigerant and oil right there. So you see how big this receiver dryer is? Longer than 10. My hand from my tip of my thumb to there is 9 inches. This is about 12 inches long, and the bottom, say 3.5 inches, is just trapped liquid refrigerant mixed with oil that is trapped inside here. If I had my infrared temperature camera, thermal camera, you would see that all these lines right here, this is all right here, this is frozen, this is all cold down here because this is all filled with liquid refrigerant, and I'm pulling it out and it's getting cold. And because it's only 47 degrees, I can't start this vehicle because it was a collision vehicle. The best I can do is get a heat gun, and I could hit this with a heat gun, a hair dryer, and you can heat the bottom 4, 5, 6 rows down here with a heat gun, and that'll help flash out and shorten your refrigerant recovery time when you're in this situation. You can't run a vehicle and it's taken apart. This is for body shop guys. The only other thing you can do too is if you could connect the battery and you turn on the air. So even though it's 40 some degrees, it has some heat in it because the evaporator right now is probably below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So there's ice crystals forming on the bottom rows, and the oil in there is trapping refrigerant. So if you could hook up the battery and you can turn on the fan just to circulate the air, this 47 degree air would at least bring the temperature up a little bit while you're doing recovery and shorten it down. And then, so the danger of this is, it's really easy to get down into the negative vacuum. And then if it's cold enough and there's no added heat, it could stay there a while and you may think it's empty. You disconnect all your equipment and you walk away. But it's negative with, look at that. There's probably 5 ounces of liquid refrigerant in there, not including whatever else is throughout the whole system. So you go away, go to lunch, come back later on that afternoon to work on the vehicle, and the technician comes over here with his wrenches and he takes off these screws. Well, in the meantime, all this refrigerant that is below 0 degrees right here warms up from the air of 47 degrees. It's 47 degrees outside, so you'll get roughly 47, 50 psi developing in the system, because that liquid refrigerant will boil out into a vapor as a pressure, and it'll keep going up until it stabilizes with the ambient temperature. So you'll have 50 psi here blowing in somebody's face with refrigerant oil and refrigerant. And this is the dangers of doing low temperature recoveries, not understanding the basic principles of the gas laws and what's happening. And that's why you see all those ice crystals down there. See that? That's all liquid refrigerant. So just because you're in a vacuum, don't think you're empty. All right, I'll see you guys later. I gotta finish the paperwork on this thing and get to work.